This is one of the most urgent problems for civilized man. He has created civilization to give himself security. Security for what? For boredom? His chief problem seems to be that most human beings need a certain amount of challenge, of external stimulus, to stop them from sinking into the blank stare and blank consciousness of the idiot. Colin Wilson. For most of human history, leisure was a rare luxury. The vast majority of people, men, women, and children alike, were consumed by the struggle for survival. From sunrise to sunset, they toiled endlessly, whether in the fields, workshops, or homes, simply to secure food, shelter, and the bare necessities of life. Idleness was not an option. Those who did not work risked starvation and suffering. The English geologist Sir Charles Lyell captured this reality in his observations of 19th century America. Writing in the 1840s, he described a nation where, regardless of wealth or status, people labored tirelessly from morning until night. Holidays and extended periods of rest were nearly unheard of, and the idea of free time, as we know it today, did not exist. But everything changed with the Second Industrial Revolution in the late 19th century. Technological advancements and the rapid expansion of industries brought about a new way of life. As factories and businesses grew, they required structured work schedules, which introduced the concept of scheduled free time for the first time in modern history. People, especially in urban centers, began to experience something unfamiliar: leisure as a predictable and regular part of life. Fast forward to today, and we find ourselves in a world where survival is no longer the defining struggle of the average person. The fruits of civilization have made life easier, more stable, and more comfortable than ever before. But this newfound security presents a new and unexpected challenge. What do we do with our freedom? This is where Colin Wilson's warning becomes relevant. Civilization has given us security, but security without purpose can lead to boredom, stagnation, and even mental decline. So, how should we use our time when we are no longer fighting to survive? This dilemma is one of the defining issues of modern life. Leisure, once a luxury, has now become a test of character. While this shift should have opened doors for exploration, creativity, and intellectual pursuits, most people did not stop to question how they should use their newfound leisure. Instead of consciously deciding how to spend their free time in ways that enhance their lives, the majority simply followed the crowd, assuming that rest, relaxation, and passive entertainment were the best ways to unwind. Few questioned whether leisure should serve a greater purpose. As the 20th century philosopher Richard Taylor observed, most people are, in the most ordinary sense, very limited. They pass their time, day after day, in idle, passive pursuits, just looking at things, games, television, whatever. Or they fill the hours talking, mostly about nothing of significance, of comings and goings, of who is doing what, of the weather, of things forgotten almost as soon as they are mentioned. They have no aspirations for themselves beyond getting through another day doing more or less what they did yesterday. They walk across the stage of life, leaving everything about as it was when they entered, achieving nothing, aspiring to nothing, having never a profound or even original thought. This is what is common, usual, typical, indeed normal. Relatively few rise above such a plodding existence. Taylor's words paint a stark picture of modern existence. Many people, even those with abundant free time, simply drift through life, engaging in routines that demand little effort or thought. They consume media passively, scroll through endless social feeds, or engage in superficial conversations, all without ever stopping to consider whether these activities truly enrich their lives. This pattern of thoughtless leisure is not just a minor concern, it has profound consequences. Some may argue that there is nothing inherently wrong with living a simple, routine life. Modern life is often fast-paced and stressful, and many believe that more rest and relaxation are needed to preserve mental health. However, Colin Wilson, an English philosopher and novelist, strongly disagreed with this view. The dangers of excessive passivity were something that Colin Wilson experienced firsthand in his own life. As a young man, Wilson struggled with periods of deep depression. Initially, he could not understand why these episodes seemed to come out of nowhere, often leaving him feeling as though life was meaningless and hopeless. However, as he examined his feelings more closely, he noticed a troubling pattern. His depression seemed to follow extended periods of inactivity when he was not engaging in any meaningful tasks or challenges. This observation led Wilson to a powerful realization. Passivity, the absence of purposeful activity, has a direct and harmful effect on mental health. In his autobiography, Dreaming to Some Purpose, Wilson wrote about how his moods would inevitably worsen when he allowed himself to be idle or disconnected from meaningful pursuits. Instead of feeling at peace or content during times of rest, he would sink deeper into gloom and pessimism. He concluded that mental illness often begins not in moments of hardship, but in periods of mental and emotional stagnation. Wilson's findings underscore a critical truth about human psychology. We are creatures who need challenges, growth, and purpose. Without these, we risk falling into a state of apathy and despair. As Wilson put it, boredom, passivity, stagnation. These are the beginnings of mental illness, which propagates itself like the scum on a stagnant pond. When the mind is not actively engaged in creative or purposeful endeavors, it begins to turn inward and deteriorate. But why is this the case? To understand this, we need to recognize that human beings are inherently dynamic. We need to move, think, create, and solve problems. Our mental well-being is intertwined with our ability to engage meaningfully with the world around us. When we allow ourselves to retreat into passivity, we deny ourselves the vital sense of accomplishment that comes from overcoming challenges or completing tasks. This absence of fulfillment leaves room for negative emotions such as boredom, frustration, and anxiety to take over. As Colin Wilson, the antidote to stagnation and boredom is active engagement in meaningful endeavors. However, this pursuit of purpose is not without its challenges. The road to fulfillment and psychological well-being involves striving for personal excellence, and it requires significant effort, persistence, and dedication. At the heart of this struggle lies pride, but not the kind of pride rooted in superficial achievements or external validation. Rather, true pride is grounded in genuine self-worth, earned through personal development, hard work, and mastery of a particular skill or craft. This concept of pride as a reflection of personal excellence is powerfully articulated by philosopher Richard Taylor in his book, Restoring Pride. According to Taylor, pride is not simply an arrogant sense of self-importance, it is the justified love of oneself, earned through the cultivation of talent and mastery. For Taylor, pride is the emotional reward for hard-earned achievement. And it is this form of pride that grants individuals a sense of true self-respect. It is the kind of pride that comes from pushing beyond one's limits and achieving something significant that requires skill, perseverance, and commitment. In contrast, narcissism, the type of self-love many people experience today, is not based on authentic achievements, but on superficial, fragile self-worth. Narcissism serves as a shield against insecurities and self-doubt, but it is not rooted in personal accomplishment. Taylor highlights that true pride emerges only when individuals push themselves to become the best version of themselves in some aspect of life, whether that's in a creative pursuit, a profession, or a personal goal. Only those who achieve excellence in a particular area of life can cultivate the genuine, justified love of themselves that is essential for true pride. The concept of pride as earned through excellence challenges a widely held belief in modern society. The notion of equality in terms of worth. While equal rights and equal treatment are fundamental principles in society, equal worth is a more controversial idea. Taylor explains that not all people are of equal worth in the sense that not everyone contributes equally to society or achieves the same level of personal excellence. The ancient Greeks, for example, believed that only those who cultivate extraordinary skill or achieve greatness could truly love themselves in an authentic, meaningful way. This idea might be unsettling in a society that tends to emphasize equality and collective identity over individual achievement. However, Taylor argues that the pursuit of excellence is what defines us as human beings. Greatness, whether intellectual, artistic, athletic, or in any other field, is not about conforming to societal expectations or meeting external standards. It is about pushing beyond one's own limits, creating something original, and achieving something that stands out from the crowd. Only through such efforts can we experience the self-respect that is the foundation of true pride. The importance of striving for excellence is especially relevant in today's world, where leisure is abundant, but many people find themselves filling their time with passive, unfulfilling activities. When we engage in mindless distractions, we fail to achieve anything of true value. While there is nothing wrong with occasional relaxation or entertainment, it becomes problematic when these activities take up the majority of our time. The struggle for pride and excellence is not easy, but it is the path that leads to the fulfillment of our potential. True pride, as Taylor suggests, is earned through the sacrifice of comfort, the overcoming of challenges, and the continuous pursuit of growth. It is the result of choosing effort over ease and meaning over convenience. And in doing so, we move closer to a sense of self-worth that is not fleeting or fragile, but solid and enduring, rooted in our abilities, our accomplishments, and the unique contributions we make to the world. Greatness is not an accident. It is the result of intentional effort and a willingness to face adversity. Those who choose to pursue greatness often find themselves outside their comfort zones, tackling challenges that demand more than they think they are capable of. This pursuit often involves long hours of hard work, facing setbacks, and making difficult decisions. Greatness requires a constant commitment to improvement, as well as the courage to endure periods of discomfort and uncertainty. In contrast, choosing comfort typically means choosing a life of ease and predictability. The appeal of comfort lies in its promise of immediate satisfaction, whether it's the comfort of a warm bed, the ease of mindless entertainment, or the relief from responsibility. However, this temporary satisfaction often comes at the cost of personal growth and meaningful achievement. Choosing greatness over comfort doesn't mean rejecting all forms of comfort altogether. It means making the conscious decision to prioritize the long-term rewards of growth, fulfillment, and self-improvement over the instant gratification of easy pleasures. Greatness is about committing to a higher purpose, one that is more meaningful than the fleeting satisfaction of momentary comforts. Ultimately, the choice between comfort and greatness is a choice about how we want to live our lives. Will we settle for the temporary relief of comfort, or will we choose the long-term satisfaction of greatness? In the end, the discomfort of growth is temporary, but the fulfillment of greatness is lasting. The question we must ask ourselves is, what kind of life do we want to lead? Some people, no doubt, are born and destined to be common, to live out their lives to no significant purpose. But that is relatively rare. Most people have the power to be creative, and some have it in a godlike degree. But many people, perhaps even most, are content with the passing pleasures and satisfactions of the animal side of our nature. Merely to do what others have done is often safe and comfortable. But to do something truly original and to do it well, whether it is appreciated by others or not, that is what being human is really all about. And it is alone what justifies the self-love that is pride.